Beloved sons and daughters, the Blessed Virgin Mary has issued a warning that shakes heaven and earth, revealing that the vast majority of Christian homes will be completely vulnerable in the spiritual realm by December 2025, and that there is only one simple element of creation, a plant chosen and blessed by her, capable of raising a divine shield that no force of darkness can penetrate. Perhaps you do not know, but multitudes of families have already witnessed graces, liberations, and extraordinary events after welcoming it into their homes. And what will be revealed now concerns not only the comfort of your home, but the protection of your soul and those you love from an intense spiritual attack unlike any seen before. Brothers and sisters in Christ, may the peace of Jesus and the maternal mantle of our Blessed Mother envelop you at this moment. For what I share does not spring from fear, but from love and obedience to a revelation entrusted from heaven to attentive children. On this day marked by pain and trials, when signs accumulate and hearts are troubled, Mary does not remain silent and does not abandon her children. She speaks urgently and asks you to listen to the end, because by heeding this message you will not only understand what is happening, but you will receive a promise of protection and a special blessing reserved for those who take this call seriously. Something will be revealed that can transform your home into a haven of peace amidst the chaos. But first it is necessary to face the gravity of the present time, for it is not just about passing difficulties. What is at stake is the eternal destiny of your soul. The mother was clear in saying that the time for waiting has passed and that her children need to prepare now. And if your heart feels a pang upon hearing this, do not ignore it. For even a simple gesture from you can help this light reach other sleeping souls. But reflect with me. Why in recent months does your home seem heavier? Why have arguments intensified? Why do illnesses, fears, and anxieties arise without explanation? The answer is neither psychological nor coincidental. We are living in the time foretold in the scriptures. Mary warned in various manifestations that the enemy has received permission to directly attack families, precisely because the family is the last refuge, the foundation of faith, and never before have so many homes reported strange events, sudden evils, disturbed nights, a feeling of hidden presences, and even sacred objects deteriorating for no apparent reason. Experienced priests confirm an alarming increase in these cases and recall the warning given before her death that the day would come when the devil would enter homes with open fury, and that day is now. But the part that many do not expect is that the Virgin Mary did not only bring the warning, she also brought the solution, something too simple for the proud, but powerful enough for those who have faith and obey. An answer that surpasses human logic and releases miracles, for the signs are before our eyes. Mysterious tears, celestial perfumes, phenomena in the sky that defy science and confirm the words of Jesus when he said that there would be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. And while many doubt, those who believe recognize that heaven is speaking. And in the face of the frightening increase in evil manifestations reported even by bishops and experienced exorcists, this message cannot be treated as something commonplace. This is a call to vigilance, to living faith, and to the protection of the home, because those who listen, believe, and act will not be confused or abandoned in the days that have already begun. My beloved children, I speak to you with the heart of a mother who observes, in silence and sorrow, the time you are living through. Look around you and see with attentive eyes. The world is covered in wars, divisions, and hardened hearts. The faith that once sustained entire families has been abandoned, forgotten, exchanged for empty promises. Many no longer seek God, no longer teach their children to love, to forgive, to remain steadfast in good. And where faith weakens, evil finds openings to enter, and Satan, my children, does not rest. He acts in disunity, in indifference, in the pride that separates spouses, in the coldness that distances parents and children. He infiltrates homes when there is no longer dialogue, when love is replaced by violence, when forgiveness ceases to exist. Thus, many homes are being destroyed not all at once, but slowly, day by day, by forgetting God and losing spiritual life. I do not say this to sow fear, but to awaken your souls. A mother warns her children when danger approaches, so that they may protect themselves and remain steadfast. Heaven never abandons those who wish to remain in the light. God, in His mercy, has always offered simple signs to remind us of His presence and His protection. Since ancient times, my children, the Lord has allowed certain elements of creation to remind man of the need for spiritual vigilance. Among these signs, I want to speak to you about something simple, humble, yet full of meaning: the sword of St. George. It is not the plant itself that possesses power, but what it symbolizes. Its upright form recalls the sword of the faithful warrior, who stands firm before evil, without bowing, without fleeing from the truth. The sword of St. George reminds you of the firmness you must have in faith, the courage to resist the evil influences that try to enter your homes. It reminds you that the house where God is sought, where the sacred is respected, where love and prayer are cultivated, becomes a space of spiritual protection. In ancient times, many placed it at the entrance of their homes as a visible sign of vigilance, a constant reminder that light was desired there, not darkness. But listen to me carefully, my children. No outward sign replaces a converted heart. It is useless to have symbols if the soul remains closed to God. True protection is born when you seek the kingdom of heaven, when you teach your children the path of good, when forgiveness returns to dwell in your homes and love becomes stronger than hatred. The sword of St. George invites you to assume a spiritual posture, to remain firm, attentive, vigilant. It reminds you that evil does not prevail where there is living faith, where Christ is welcomed, where the mother is respected, and where angels find space to act. May your homes be places of peace, inner silence, reconciliation, and hope. I am with you. I walk beside you as a mother who protects, consoles, and guides. Do not stray from God. The time you are going through is heavy, confusing, and marked by many open wounds. In many nations there are wars that steal lives. There is hatred that spreads like a shadow. There are families that no longer recognize each other. I see homes where there was once dialogue and now there is silence, where there was once prayer and now there is indifference. The faith that sustained generations has been set aside, as if it were no longer necessary. And when man turns away from God, he also loses the protection that springs from trust in him. The enemy takes advantage of these breaches, my children. He doesn't arrive in an obvious way, but enters through distraction, weariness, lack of vigilance. He sows division, distrust, impatience, harsh words, and cold gestures. Little by little, he weakens the bonds, until many no longer recognize the value of family, marriage, respect, and life. How many homes are being destroyed not by a great event, but by the sum of small absences of love and faith? Therefore, I warn you with tenderness and firmness. Open your spiritual eyes and see the signs that are before you. The world cries out for conversion, for a return to God, for hearts that rise up against evil not with violence, but with inner firmness. Heaven has never ceased to offer simple ways to remind us of this need for vigilance. From ancient times, God allowed creation itself to remind man that he is not alone in the spiritual struggle he wages every day. I want to speak to you about something simple, humble, that many know, but few understand in depth. The sword of St. George, so present in many homes, carries a meaning that goes beyond what the eyes see. Its straight, firm form, growing upwards, reminds us of the posture we should have in the face of evil, to remain standing without bowing, without surrendering to discouragement, without negotiating with that which destroys the soul. Since ancient times, many have placed it at the entrance of their homes as a sign of vigilance, as a silent reminder that that home wished to remain under the light and not under darkness. Understand well, my children, it is not the plant itself that wards off evil, for all power comes from God. What it represents is the inner decision to protect the home, to not allow influences contrary to faith to find space in the daily life of the family. It reminds us that that place must be guarded by truth, fidelity, respect, and the presence of God. It is a visible sign that calls for the spiritual responsibility of those who live there. It is useless to put up outward signs if the heart remains closed, if forgiveness is not practiced, if love is forgotten. Evil does not fear objects, but it retreats when it finds a home where there is humility, where parents teach their children to choose good, where peace is sought even in difficulties. A protected home is one where words are guarded, where violence is avoided, where pride is combated with gentleness and indifference with gestures of care. Many of you are tired, wounded, confused, and I know every tear shed in silence. Do not think you are alone. I am with you, walking beside you, supporting you when your strength seems to fail. But I need you to do your part, to awaken from your spiritual torpor, to not treat evil as something normal or inevitable. He needs to be recognized and combated with a life rooted in God. May your homes once again become places of peace, where love is stronger than wounds, where faith is not only remembered but lived. May each sign you place in your home remind you of the commitment to remain in the light, to protect what God has entrusted to you. Be firm, be vigilant, be constant. Evil does not prevail where there are hearts determined to remain with God. I cover you with my motherly gaze and guide you, step by step, away from the darkness and closer to the light that never fades. I call you, with the tenderness of a mother, to seek God above all things, for only in Him is the true strength that sustains life. Many seek protection only in what is visible, in what can be touched, but forget that the greatest defense is born from a living, sincere, and trusting faith. It is not enough to have sacred signs in your home if your heart remaining distant from God. Understand, my children, that the sacraments are precious gifts, channels of divine grace, but they do not act on their own when they do not find a faith to receive them. It is useless to place signs of protection if you do not truly believe that God is present, that He hears, that He acts. Faith is not a spiritual ornament, but an inner surrender, a profound trust even when everything seems uncertain. Seek God in silence, in sincerity, in the daily decision to choose good. Strengthen your faith not only with words, but with actions, with real changes in life, with a heart willing to obey the divine will. When faith is true, heaven moves. When a home believes, when it trusts, when it abandons itself into God's hands, He sends His protection invisibly, but powerfully. Believe, my children, that God sends a court of angels to guard those who seek Him sincerely. Angels walk in your homes, watching over your families, driving away the darkness that tries to approach. But they find space where there is faith, where there is humility, where there is trust. An unbelieving heart closes doors that heaven wishes to open. Do not deceive yourselves into thinking that protection comes from the outside in. It is born first within the soul. When you believe that God is with you, when you trust that He takes care of every detail, fear loses its power, evil weakens, and peace begins to dwell in your home. True faith transforms the environment, heals old wounds, and restores what seemed lost. I ask you, as a mother, not to live a superficial faith. Do not treat the sacred as an empty custom. Allow God to truly be the Lord of your homes, of your decisions, of your relationships. Where God reigns, the angels remain. Where faith is alive, the light prevails. I am with you, interceding, guiding, and protecting. But it is necessary that you take the step of trust. Seek God, strengthen your faith, and you will see how heaven inclines over your home, sending protection, peace, and hope. Where there is true faith, no evil remains, for the presence of God transforms everything. My beloved children, let my words descend slowly into your hearts, for I do not speak to the haste of this world, but to the depths of your souls. I call you once again to seek God sincerely, not only with your lips, but with your whole lives. Many say they believe, but they live as if God were distant, as if He were only a last resort and not the center of everything. True faith is not born of habit. It is born of encounter, of trust, and of daily surrender. See, my children, how many rely only on external signs, on sacred objects placed in their homes, but forget that the greatest altar should be the heart. It is no use surrounding the house with symbols if the soul remains empty of faith. The sacraments are sources of grace, gifts bestowed by God to strengthen His children, but they need a heart that believes, that trusts, that opens itself to what heaven desires to accomplish. Without faith, everything becomes mere form, not life. Strengthen your faith in the small choices of each day. When you choose to forgive instead of holding grudges, when you choose silence instead of aggression, when you choose truth instead of lies, you are nourishing a living faith. Faith grows not only in moments of joy, but above all in trials, when everything seems uncertain and yet you decide to trust in God. It is in these moments that heaven acts with the greatest power. Believe, my children, that God does not abandon those who seek Him. When a home decides to trust, when a family turns to Him with humility, God Himself sends His angels to protect, guard, and illuminate. There is a celestial court that moves in silence, warding off dangers that your eyes do not see, sustaining you in moments of weakness, inspiring thoughts of peace when chaos tries to dominate. But this presence is strengthened where there is faith, where there is trusting surrender into the hands of the Father. Many ask why they feel so much oppression, so much weight, so much restlessness in their homes. I tell you with love, examine your faith. Ask yourselves if you truly believe that God is present, if you truly trust that He cares for every detail of your life. Unbelief closes doors that heaven desires to open. Constant doubt weakens spiritual protection. But sincere trust creates an environment where light prevails and evil loses power. Do not be afraid to surrender yourselves completely to God. Faith takes nothing away from you. It gives back everything the world has tried to steal. Peace, the meaning of life, hope. When God is placed first, the home is transformed. The atmosphere changes, hearts calm down, wounds begin to heal. Even if difficulties remain, they no longer dominate you, for you know in whom you trust. I accompany you as an attentive mother, observing every step, every silent struggle, every hidden tear. But I wish to see you strong, firm, determined to live a true faith, not a superficial one. Do not make faith an empty habit, but a living flame that illuminates your home and your history. Where there is authentic faith, angels find space to act, and the presence of God becomes real and transformative. Seek God every day, even when your heart is weary. Strengthen your faith even when your mind is confused. Trust is an act of courage, and this courage pleases heaven. I cover you with my maternal care and lead you closer to God, for only in Him will you find true protection, true strength, and the peace that the world cannot give. Where faith is alive, heaven dwells, and no evil can remain. Draw near and let me enfold you in my arms, not as one who judges, but as one who welcomes, consoles, and protects. There are many hidden pains in your souls, many battles fought in silence, and I know them one by one. No tear has fallen from you without my gaze. The times you live in demand firmness. They demand deep roots in God. Evil has spread because many have strayed from the source of life. Many have ceased to seek the presence of the Lord and have begun to walk alone. Satan, in his fury, has wounded my children through division, fear, discouragement, and loss of faith. He attacks where he finds weakness, where the heart is empty of God, where hope has been replaced by unbelief. Therefore, I call upon you with urgency and tenderness. Be strong in God. Do not trust only in your own strength, for it tires, but trust in the grace that comes from above. When I take you in my arms, it is not to remove you from the struggle, but to strengthen you for it. A child in its mother's arms finds rest, but also learns to trust and to walk. This is what I do with you, my children. I sustain you so that you may remain steadfast. Do not allow fear to rule your hearts. Evil makes noise, threatens, confuses, but it does not have the last word. True strength is born from trust in God, from the decision to remain in Him even when everything around seems to collapse. When you choose God, when you lean on Him, the enemy loses ground, loses strength, loses authority over your lives. I teach you, as a mother, that spiritual firmness does not come from hardness of heart, but from faithfulness. Be constant, be vigilant, be humble. Turn to God every day, not just in times of affliction. A heart united to God becomes a fortress that evil cannot bring down. A home that seeks God becomes a refuge of peace, even amidst the storms of the world. Many of you are wounded by the actions of evil, by wrong choices, by influences that entered unnoticed. Do not despair. Come to me. I cover you, I support you, and I lead you back to the path of light. There is no wound that God cannot heal, no darkness that His presence cannot dispel. Be stronger, my children, not in violence, but in faith. Be firmer, not in pride, but in trust in God. The enemy weakens before a heart determined to remain in the light. I walk with you, I intercede for you, and I hold you when you stumble. Remain with me and, above all, remain in God. Where God is, evil does not prevail, and where a child takes refuge in the arms of his mother, hope is reborn and strength is renewed. I take you in my arms as a mother takes her wounded child, not to hide you from the world, but to restore to you the peace, security, and confidence that evil tries to steal from you. In my arms, your tears are not despised. Your pain is not ignored, and your battles are not seen as weakness, but as signs that you still fight. The time in which you live demands spiritual courage. Evil has acted intensely because many hearts have become distracted, hardened, or turned away from God. Satan has caused confusion, division, and despair among my children, attacking families, destroying homes, spreading fear, and making many believe that there is no more hope. He works in the darkness of discouragement, in the coldness of forgotten faith, in the loss of trust in God. But I tell you, as a mother who knows the power of the Almighty, evil is not stronger than God. Therefore, I call you with insistent love. Be stronger, be more steadfast in God. Do not trust only in your own thoughts, nor in your own strength, for they fail. Root your life in God. Seek His presence with sincerity. Place your trust in Him even when you do not understand the ways. True strength is not born of pride, but of surrender. True firmness is not born of hardness, but of daily faithfulness. When I embrace you in my arms, it is to lead you back to the heart of God. Everything I do is to draw you closer to Him, for only in Him will you find the protection that the world cannot offer. A heart united to God becomes a safe refuge. A soul that trusts in the Lord is not easily defeated, even when facing storms. Even when evil tries to rise up, it does not prevail where there is living and persevering faith. Do not allow fear to rule your life. Fear paralyzes, weakens, and distances you from trusting God. I teach you to trust, even when everything seems uncertain. To trust, even when the pain has not yet passed. To trust, even when the enemy tries to whisper lies to your heart. God sees what you do not see, acts where you cannot reach, and protects you from dangers your eyes will never perceive. How many of you are wounded by the consequences of evil, by wrong choices, by influences that entered your lives without your realizing it? Do not condemn yourselves. Do not give in to despair. Come to me. I will help you to rise, to begin again, to return to the path of light. No fall is greater than God's mercy. No darkness is stronger than His light. Be vigilant, my children. Strengthen yourselves in faith every day, in small actions, in silent choices, in the hidden faithfulness that only God sees. A home that seeks God becomes protected. A heart that trusts becomes strong. Where God is placed first, the enemy loses ground and peace begins to flourish, even amidst difficulties. Abide with me, and I will guide you safely. I cover you with my maternal care. I intercede for you, and I do not abandon you. But above all, remain steadfast in God. He is your rock, your fortress, your salvation. In moments of weakness, come to me. In moments of struggle, seek God, and you will see that, even amidst the evil that tries to spread, your souls will remain standing, strengthened, protected, and full of hope. There is violence where there should be care, there is hatred where there should be love, but there is indifference where compassion once existed. Many no longer recognize each other as brothers and sisters. Many no longer feel pain for the suffering of others. This is not by chance, my children. It is the fruit of turning away from God. The enemy works silently, confusing minds, hardening hearts, making evil seem normal and good seem weak. Satan sows division, pride, and lies, leading many to believe that they can live without God, that they no longer need faith, that they no longer need to love. Thus, little by little, he corrodes relationships, destroys families, spreads despair, and extinguishes the inner light of many of my children. I call you with the voice of a mother who warns, not to frighten you, but to awaken you. Do not close your eyes to what is happening. The world suffers because many hearts have turned away from the truth. The destruction you see outside began first within the human soul. When God is left aside, the void is filled with darkness. And where there is darkness, evil finds space to act. But listen to me well, my children. Evil makes noise, but it is not invincible. It strengthens itself where it finds indifference, fear, and disbelief, but weakens before a heart that seeks God sincerely. Therefore, I ask you, turn to the Lord, renew your faith, rebuild your spiritual life. Do not allow Satan to dictate the paths of your heart or your family. Love can still conquer. Peace can still be reborn. Light can still shine even in the midst of darkness. Every choice for good, every gesture of forgiveness, every step taken towards God weakens the works of evil. Do not think that you are too small to make a difference. A faithful heart illuminates more than you imagine.